The essence of a living faith lies in three things: prayer, attending Mass, and living out love through good deeds. Today, we embark on a journey focusing on prayer, specifically a very powerful one. Don't pray the Rosary until you watch this video. Now, that might sound like a strange thing to say, but what if I told you that this simple string of beads is tied to a naval victory that saved Europe, the miraculous survival of priests at the heart of an atomic bomb, and a peaceful revolution that overthrew a dictator? The Rosary is one of the most misunderstood prayers in the world. But by the time this video is over, you will know everything you need to know. We'll uncover its surprising origin story. You will understand why it is so important to the faithful. And you'll hear about its powerful effects that can bring peace to your own life. More than that, we'll dive into the incredible true historical events shaped by this prayer. And finally, we'll explore why the Virgin Mary herself, in recent apparitions, has urgently asked us to pray it. Stay with me to the end, and you'll never look at the Rosary the same way again. The Rosary as we know it today wasn't created in a single moment. It's the result of a spiritual tradition that grew and deepened over 1,000 years. Its earliest origins can be traced back to the early Christian monks in the desert. To help them pray without ceasing, they would use ropes with knots or pouches of pebbles to count their prayers. Most often the Lord's Prayer, Our Father. In medieval monasteries, monks would pray all 150 psalms. For lay people who couldn't read, a tradition began of praying 150 Our Fathers instead. This became known as the Pauper's Psalter, or the Psalter for the Poor. As love and devotion to Mary, the mother of Jesus, grew throughout Europe, the prayer began to transform. People started praying 150 Hail Marys instead of the Our Father, creating what was called Our Lady's Psalter. The very word rosary comes from rosarium, which means a rose garden, a fitting symbol for a spiritual bouquet offered to Mary. According to tradition, the Rosary was given its definitive form by Saint Dominic in the 13th century. It is said that the Virgin Mary appeared to him and encouraged him to spread this prayer as a powerful tool against heresy and sin. While historians debate the specifics of this event, it is undeniable that Saint Dominic and his Dominican order were instrumental in organizing the Rosary, introducing meditations on the life of Christ, the mysteries, and popularizing it throughout the world. The Church later officially approved this form of prayer. In 2002, Pope John Paul II added the luminous mysteries, which focus on Jesus' public life. The Rosary is more than just a repetitive prayer, it's a profound spiritual exercise. Here are three key reasons why it's so important. First, it is a prayer for world peace. As you'll see, the Virgin Mary herself has personally requested the praying of the Rosary for world peace and the conversion of sinners. This elevates it from a personal prayer to a powerful tool for the good of all humanity. Second, it is a summary of the Gospel. The Rosary is often called a compendium of the Gospel. As you pray, you're not just repeating words, you are meditating on the pivotal moments of Jesus' life, death, and resurrection through the eyes of his mother. It's a journey through the core message of the Bible. Third, it is a school of spirituality. By meditating on the virtues of Jesus and Mary in each mystery, humility, patience, charity, and obedience, the Rosary becomes a practical school for spiritual growth. It's a roadmap to becoming a better, holier person. Those who pray the Rosary faithfully report profound effects in their lives. It is a spiritual weapon. The Rosary is described by saints and popes as a powerful spiritual weapon against evil. It's a source of strength against personal temptation and sin, and a shield against the negative forces at work in the world. It is a source of inner peace and healing. The meditative rhythm of the Rosary calms the mind and centers the soul. In a world filled with anxiety and distraction, it brings a deep sense of inner peace. By placing your worries and wounds in the hands of Mary, it becomes a prayer of profound healing, and it holds the power of intercession. The Rosary is one of the most powerful prayers of intercession. By asking Mary, Our Lady of the Rosary, to pray for us, we trust that she carries our needs directly to her Son, Jesus. This confidence in her help opens the door to incredible graces. Throughout history, there have been moments when the world believed it witnessed the tangible power of the Rosary. At the Battle of Lepanto in 1571, when a massive Ottoman fleet threatened to invade Europe, Pope Pius V called on all Christians to pray the Rosary. Against all odds, the smaller Christian fleet won a decisive victory that saved Christendom. The Pope declared that the victory was not due to weapons, but to the power of the Rosary, and established October 7th as the Feast of Our Lady of the Rosary. In 1945, when the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, 8 Jesuit priests living in a rectory, just 8 blocks from Ground Zero, survived completely unharmed. Their home remained standing while everything around them was obliterated. They were never affected by the radiation. When asked why they were spared, their answer was simple. We believe we survived because we were living the message of Fatima. We prayed the Rosary every day in that home. In 1986, when the dictator Ferdinand Marcos was overthrown in the Philippines, it was called the Rosary Revolution. Millions of citizens peacefully protested against tanks and armed soldiers. Their only weapons were rosaries. Nuns and families knelt in front of the tanks, praying the Rosary. The soldiers refused to fire, and the bloodless revolution became a global symbol of the triumph of peace over violence. In modern times, the Virgin Mary herself has appeared in church-approved apparitions to emphasize the Rosary's importance. In Lourdes, France, in 1858, when Mary appeared to a young girl named Bernadette, she held a rosary in her hands and prayed along with the girl, silently moving the beads. In Fatima, Portugal, in 1917, in one of the most famous apparitions, Mary explicitly identified herself as Our Lady of the Rosary. She urged the 3 shepherd children to pray the Rosary every day to obtain peace for the world and the end of the war. Her message was a clear and urgent call from heaven to pick up this prayer. So, from the deserts of Egypt to the battlefields of Europe, from the heart of an atomic blast to the streets of a peaceful revolution, the Rosary has proven to be far more than just a string of beads. It's a spiritual weapon, a source of incredible peace, a meditation on the life of Christ, and a direct line to the heart of His mother. If you are looking for peace in your life, strength in your struggles, or a way to help bring peace to this broken world, perhaps it's time to discover this prayer for yourself. Don't be intimidated. Just start with 1 decade. Hold the beads, speak the words, and allow Mary to guide you closer to her Son. The peace and strength you find might just change your life. If this story of the Rosary has moved you, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel so that more people can discover its message. And now I'd love to hear from you. How has the Rosary impacted your life? Do you have your own story of its power or the peace it brings? Please share your experience in the comments below. Let's create a community of faith and encouragement.